A lot has been going on in the crypto space, and in today's video, we will be looking at Coinbase's latest registration with Spain's central bank, XRP versus the SEC highly anticipated settlement, and finally, what are we to understand as Ethereum funding rate turns deep red? Stick with me till the end to find out more. If this sounds like something of much interest to you, be sure to check out this new video starting now. Hello and welcome to our channel, where we talk about the latest updates from the world of cryptocurrencies in general. If this is your first time watching one of our videos, we extend a special welcome to you. We invite you to hit the notification bell so you never miss another video. Now, let's dive in. Cryptocurrency exchange Coinbase has secured an anti-money laundering (AML) compliance registration from Spain's central bank as part of its ongoing expansion across Europe. According to a September 22 statement, the registration with the Bank of Spain now means that Spanish users will be able to retain custody of their crypto assets on Coinbase, as well as buy and sell crypto assets in Europe. This registration will allow Coinbase to offer our full suite of products and services to retail and institutional users in Spain, all in compliance with the national legal framework. It highlighted that almost one-third of individuals in Spain have a positive outlook on digital assets. 29% of adults in Spain believe crypto is the future of finance, it stated. Additionally, it noted that crypto has become Spain's second most preferred payment method, surpassing traditional bank transfers. Nana Mura-Yesin, Vice President of International and Business Development at Coinbase, stated that the exchange continues to seek regulatory compliance across the world. In the last year alone, we have obtained VASP registrations in Italy, Ireland, and the Netherlands, as well as in principal approval and launching in Singapore, launching in Brazil, and, most recently, launching in Canada. This follows shortly after crypto exchange Crypto.com obtained regulatory approval in Spain. On June 23, Crypto.com announced that it had been granted a virtual asset service provider registration from the Bank of Spain. In October 2021, the Bank of Spain provided guidance on the steps crypto service providers can take to achieve AML compliance in the country. The instructions specified that crypto exchanges must submit reports detailing efforts to prevent illicit activities such as money laundering and terrorism financing. Meanwhile, recent reports indicate that Coinbase is aiming to establish a strong presence in Europe. On September 22, Cointelegraph reported that Coinbase attempted to buy defunct crypto exchange FTX Europe twice, in November 2022, when FTX filed for bankruptcy, and in September 2023. This comes amid the European Parliamentary Research Service, EPRS, recently emphasizing the need for non-European regulators to exercise stricter oversight in the global crypto market. As the Markets in Crypto Assets Regulation, MiCA, Act progresses toward its December 2024 implementation deadline, an EPRS report urges the establishment of a more rigorous regulatory framework in non-EU jurisdictions. There are yet several channels through which the EU's financial system and autonomy is still at risk as it remains dependent on non-EU countries' policy actions in the context where the MiCA is applicable. Furthermore, in a startling development, top executives from Ripple Labs visited Washington, D.C. to meet with members of the United States Congress as part of efforts to push for favorable crypto bills for the crypto industry. Notably, the Washington, D.C. trip was led by Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse. Other top executives from Ripple Labs, including Chief Legal Officer Stuart Alderoty and Vice President, Global Head of Public Policy Rob Grant, also embarked on the trip. Garlinghouse took to the X platform to announce the development. The Ripple CEO mentioned that he's back in Washington, D.C., along with Alderoty, for meetings with Congress members. He emphasized the importance of engaging with elected officials responsible for proposing bills to achieve regulatory clarity. It bears mentioning that the development comes over 2 months after a federal court issued the highly anticipated summary judgment in the company's multi-year legal tussle against the SEC. The leading blockchain payments company partially won the case, as the court ruled that most of its XRP-related transactions did not violate federal securities laws. While the SEC is pushing for an interlocutory appeal to challenge the ruling on Ripple's programmatic sales of XRP and other distributions, the company execs recently sent a subtle message to the regulator. In a tweet yesterday, Alderoty shared a picture of him with Garlinghouse standing in front of the U.S. Supreme Court, using the caption, "While the industry waits for legislative clarity from Congress, we should always be able to count on checks and balances." A few hours later, Garlinghouse also shared a picture of him with Alderoty in front of SEC headquarters. Garlinghouse clarified that their visit to the SEX building was not based on invitation. Expectedly, all pictures prompted reactions from XRP community members. Some enthusiasts speculate that Ripple execs indirectly informed the SEC of its readiness to adopt all available options to resolve the legal battle, including taking the case to the Supreme Court. However, others suggested that Ripple could prepare to settle with the SEC following its visit to the agency's building. Reacting to the development, Yasin Mobarak, a prominent XRP community member and founder of Dizer Capital, stated that the picture is not a settlement message from Ripple. According to Mobarak, the lawsuit between the SEC and Ripple could be heading to the Supreme Court unless the regulator comes back to its senses. Furthermore, another XRP enthusiast named the Bearable Bull hopes that Ripple takes the case to the Supreme Court. Meanwhile, pro-XRP lawyer John Deaton gave unsolicited advice to Ripple execs for the first time. While reacting to the picture of Garlinghouse and Alderoti standing in front of the SEX building, attorney Deaton said, "Since you were sued only days before Christmas, I suggest you make this picture a postcard that reads, 'Don't blame US,' and send it to Clayton, Hinman, and Gensler this Xmas." Deaton advised. It is worth noting that Ripple has made it clear that it is willing to settle with the SEC or go all the way to the Supreme Court to resolve the lawsuit. The SEC has yet to signal plans for a settlement, as it is currently asking the court to certify an interlocutory appeal. Notably, the SEC has filed the necessary motion for an immediate appeal and expects a ruling from the court. Now to the big question of the day. What are we to understand as Ethereum funding rate turns deep red? Please, do not forget to subscribe to our channel and also hit that notification bell to be the first person to get more updates about the latest happenings in the crypto space. Data shows the Ethereum funding rates have been quite negative in recent days. As explained by an analyst in a CryptoQuant post, a short squeeze may be a possibility for the asset currently. The funding rate is an indicator that keeps track of the periodic fees that traders on the futures market are exchanging with each other. When the value of this metric is positive, it means that the long contract holders are paying a premium to the short holders right now. Such a trend implies the longs outweigh the shorts currently, and hence, a bullish mentality is the dominant force in the sector. On the other hand, negative values suggest the majority of the futures market users share a bearish sentiment at the moment, as the shorts are the ones paying a fee. Now, here is a chart that shows the trend in the Ethereum funding rates over the past week. As displayed in the chart, the Ethereum funding rates had been positive until just a couple of days back, implying that the majority of the futures traders had been betting on the asset's price to go up. The metric's value has plunged to the negative zone during the past day or so, however, suggesting that a complete flip in mentality has occurred among the investors. This bearish sentiment, though, may not necessarily be bad for the price. This is because the more the mentality has become skewed in one direction historically, the more probable the price of the cryptocurrency has become to show a sharp move in the opposite direction. One major reason why this happens is that mass liquidation events, which are popularly called squeezes, are more likely to involve the dominant side of the futures market. During a squeeze, a sudden swing in the price ends up liquidating a large amount of contracts at once. Such liquidations only provide fuel for the price move that caused them, thus amplifying it further. This can lead to a cascade of more liquidations. As shorts have piled up in the Ethereum futures market recently, the probability of a short squeeze occurring would be elevated. Naturally, if such an event does take place, the asset's value could see a sharp rebound. This doesn't necessarily have to happen, of course, and if it does, it may not be soon. From the chart, it's visible that the funding rate had remained at notable positive values for a while before the ETH price finally registered its plunge. Ethereum has taken a hit of more than 3% during the past week, as the asset's price is now trading under the $1,600 level. Now, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this in the comments section. Write us anything down here, we are very eager to read you. Always remember that you are an important part of our community. With that, we come to the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, give the video a like and don't forget to subscribe. This really helps me with the YouTube algorithm. Also share this video to as many people as possible. Let's get this news everywhere. If you are a true cryptocurrency fan, don't miss any of our content, and don't forget to follow us on our new Instagram account at FactMakeMoney. See you in a future opportunity to talk about the latest news that concerns us all as a community. Thanks for watching.